The man cave. Why do we have one? Well, according to psychiatrist and author Scott Holtzman, it's important for a man to have a place he can call his own. It's a place where other people's sensibilities about standards or cleanliness are not necessarily observed. Actually, I just found that on Wikipedia. While a lot of men use these rooms for playing games like darts and pool table and horseshoes, I primarily use mine for work. Okay, and to play games, watch movies, take naps, and hide from my kids. But that's it. So the three main things I use this room for is video editing, photo editing, and illustration, and games and movies. Without further ado, I would like to introduce you to my man cave. Alexa, activate man cave.
Okay.
In a previous video, we showed you guys us installing these canvas Nanoleaf lights. For this video, we wanted to finish off the room for good. So over 48 hours, we essentially transformed the room to being what it is now. So the primary design and flow of this room is that it's all focused on this wall. This is where these lights are, this is where my television is, and this is where most of my seats are facing. These chairs are from Valencia Home Theater Seating, and this design is called Zurich. They're made of Italian Napa 15,000 grade leather, which I think that means they're good. I'll just tell you this, they're really, really comfortable and seem to be built really well. One reason we went with these chairs is that we love the design. It has suede accents with diamond stitching on it that fits so nicely in this modern room. You guys may have remembered in our media room that we also have chairs from Valencia Theater Seating in there. And those chairs are their Tuscany design. We were so happy with the chairs in there that it was kind of a must that we would use them again in my man cave. For those of you guys that might be interested in getting these chairs, I actually reached out to Valencia Theater Seating and they're willing to give you guys a free tray table when you purchase a chair. Be sure to use promo code GreatScots to get that offer, and I linked it in the description. So the main things we did to finish this room was adding these chairs, the rug. Do you want some Scooby Snoops? The desk, painting the desk, painting the back wall, adding 3 posters, adding additional lighting, and these really special plants. So we were going to make this room an exercise room, but then I won. I convinced Amanda that it's just too many stairs to walk up and too far away to really exercise in. As far as my workflow with video editing, I primarily use this MacBook Pro. And the reason I use a MacBook Pro is because I love being able to take my work with me anywhere I need to go. And I also like the fact that it has plenty of power to run the processing I need in order to edit with 4K footage. Whenever I'm doing any editing with photography, I always use my iPad Pro. I've really loved this iPad. I was really shocked to find out how useful they can be, especially with programs like Affinity Photo that in my mind do just as well as Photoshop. I've actually used iPad Pros in the past to design album covers and many other things that have to do with photography. I prefer using the iPad just because the pencil is so precise, something that would be really hard to replicate using a standard computer. I also use my iPad Pro for illustration, and I use an app called Procreate. I'm by no means an artist, but I have found it so therapeutic to use this app with drawing for some reason. Something about using a pencil with all the different brushstrokes you can create has got me hooked, and it's definitely become a new hobby of mine. These headphones on my desk are some of the best headphones I've ever used. They're called the SONY WH-1000XM3. I did a lot of research when looking for headphones for when I was traveling, and these by far blew me away in terms of what they offer. They have really good sound, but they also have amazing noise cancellation. What do you think, Desi? Boom, chicky wonka wonk. He's feeling it.
Hey, Desi.
Boom.
Hey, Desi.
And this is my solid state drive. It's a 2 terabyte drive that I use for video editing when I'm needing some extra storage. So this white desk in this room actually used to be gray. It's a desk I had previously, and I took it upon myself to try to make it look like the glossy IKEA cabinets that I have here below my TV. It didn't work out so well. In fact, I'll just show you what happened. All right, so the first thing you do with the sandpaper majigger is you stick sandpaper on it, and then you just kind of sand it in swirls. I've actually never done this before, to be honest with you, but I can't imagine it's that hard. So here it goes. All right, so I finished buffering with my buffer. Oops. I finished buffering with my buffer tool. You'll notice since I buffed this table, it looks a lot different. Actually, it kind of really doesn't, and for the most part, it feels the same. So I really don't have any idea if this is gonna do anything. Now we're on to step number 2. You wanna get a rag like this so that you can wipe the dust off from it. Because if you don't wipe the dust off from it, then actually I'm not sure what would happen. Yeah, just wipe it off just to be safe. I don't know. Next, we're gonna paint with a primer. What is my neighbor doing? Oh my gosh. So violent. All right, now the dusting is done. We're gonna take a paintbrush. You can get a paintbrush at most stores. This is the side that you actually want to paint with. And the reason why is because if you paint with this side, it's not gonna go on there very good. I learned that the hard way at scout camp. Also, I have this can of primer. I guess I'm supposed to prime it with this first before I actually put on the glossy paint. So we're gonna do that. I also picked this up at the store. I didn't actually make this paint myself. I suppose you could if you had the right color of berries. Okay, so the primer has been applied, and I think I did it right. So next I'm gonna sand it down to make sure it's nice and soft and smooth so that I can put this paint on, this Evershield exterior gloss paint that supposedly, according to the paint guy, will make it look more like my glossy IKEA cabinets that I have up here in the front. So here it goes. So this desk turned out pretty awful. The texture of it is really rough. Although, if I told you that I wanted it to be rough like this, I was going for that distressed concrete look, it'd be great, and I love it. I mean, this is exactly what I wanted. So on this wall, we have the Nanoleaf canvas lights that we mentioned previously. There's about 250 of these lights. Honestly, these can do amazing things. And you really should watch our first video of when we set these up to see all that they can do. These 3 posters I have in the back are actually from our media room. I actually stole them from that room because, well, I didn't know what to put on this back wall and they look kind of neat. But the good news is I'm gonna upgrade my posters in the other room to fill those spots from where they were wrongfully taken. The TV I have mounted on this beautiful wall is a LG C9 OLED. And I've really enjoyed this TV because of the rich colors and the inky blacks that can only happen with an OLED TV. I primarily use this screen for watching movies, playing games, and actually using it as a monitor. I use it with my MacBook Pro when I'm wanting to use it as a secondary display to review footage that I'm editing. And sometimes I even use it with my iPad Pro when I'm working on illustrations or even doing photo editing. And just to mention a few other items I have in this room, this is a wireless keyboard and mouse that I like to use when I'm using my PC. And this is my PC. It's really powerful and does neat things. And I also have an Xbox Elite controller. This is the 2nd edition. And this is a really good controller if you like to play games. And finally, these are the Corsair Virtuoso gaming headset. Did I say that right? Here, I'm gonna have Amanda say because I can't say this.
This is the Corsair Virtuoso gaming headset.
Thank you, Amanda. They're good. And that's it. That's my man cave. And hopefully that inspires you to build your own man cave or woman cave if that's your thing. It's not much, but it's mine.
You guys, is he spoiled or what?
Amanda. Okay, so Amanda is hiding in my man cave for some reason. Amanda? Are you trying to get away from the kids?
Yeah, babe, I'm trying to get away. Yeah, I really am. I'm trying to get away from the kids.